Today's episode of the BS Podcast is brought to you by SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor and the only fan-friendly app for buying and selling tickets for sports and music. With just 2 taps on your phone, you can instantly buy SeatGeek tickets to an event and enter the event. No paper tickets. Drop your old ticket app. Use one that's built for 2016. Again, do everything on your phone. Download SeatGeek's free app or go to SeatGeek.com. We are also brought to you by Sling TV, the best way to watch live TV on your turf. For just $20 a month, stream more than 20 live channels, including ESPN, TNT, AMC, and CNN. No installation, no extra gear, no annual contracts, just an internet connection. That's it. You need it for Monday Night Football. Start watching for 7 days free at sling.com/Bill Simmons. Get Sling TV on your favorite device. Restrictions apply. And since we're here, my new HBO show, Any Given Wednesday, returned this week with a football show. You like football, Sal?
Yeah, I'm taking it in this year.
Yeah, football. You should try it. It's a really good sport. We had Malcolm Gladwell, Demora Smith, and Jay Glazer. Watch the re-airs on HBO. Watch the bonus digital clips on HBO Now, HBO Go, and HBO On Demand. New episode next Wednesday, 10 p.m. And if you love football, check out theringer.com for some fantastic NFL preview content. I was really psyched with how good the preview content was this week. Robert Mays, Kevin Clark, Danny Kelly, a host of others. They're also doing the Ringer NFL show as a podcast. Kevin Clark wrote a really fascinating piece today about how the 2011 CBA has made the league too young. Because of the salary cap. It's just better to have young guys.
Yeah.
And all these veterans are losing their job 2 years early. And then you have these guys who don't know what the F they're doing. They're getting thrown in. They're now the starting left guard, the nickelback.
Interesting.
And the coaches don't know how to coach them. And they're not allowed to coach them for 3 months during the offseason. Yeah. And it's just raw. Everyone's raw. Made me kind of rethink my...
I think you're a little raw. You haven't even introduced me yet. You're talking
because
to me
we
like
haven't played my music yet. Let's do it. Cousin Sal, week 1, we're off.
Yeah. Clear enough for you? All right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Season 10.
Wow.
Season 10. My daughter's now 11 and a half. Your son is now 11 and a half because they're almost exactly the same age. We have 5 kids between us.
Yeah.
We each own a house.
We'll have 6. You'll have another one.
I might.
Really?
Just might.
Wow, I was kidding.
Not with my wife. I was thinking with somebody else.
I see.
No.
Okay.
All right. So every year we guess the lines on Monday. We would guess the lines. Oh, what are the lines going to be this week? But now we're doing it on Wednesday late afternoon.
Right.
And we're going to run it on Thursday morning. I'm a little off my game. I don't know. It's like a time zone thing. It's like West Coast flying to East Coast. I'm not used to guessing the lines.
I was off too. I think they're screwing around with a few of these games already. The fix is in.
You think the casinos are off? What's going on?
I think the men
People are off?
men they don't like to talk about who run these games and pay people off. The
gambling public?
They're at it. Yeah.
What? Well, let's just go through it. First of all, since we did our podcast last week, I've changed my mind on a couple things.
You have? What?
And as you know, I like to gamble in September based on what I think is going to happen. I like to stick to my guns.
Right.
I like to back a few teams, either for or against them, and ride them, not get dissuaded by 1 week, stuff like that.
What a wild plan. I've never heard anything.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, most people just go week by week. I like to, I'm not going to get thrown off because you sucked in week 1. I mean, I still believe. I think I like Tampa Bay.
Oh.
Yeah. As like a wild card team.
Do you?
Yeah. You know why?
You screwed up the coach. You thought Lovie Smith was still the coach.
I know. Once I found out he wasn't the coach, that made me like them more. That was the one thing I missed somehow.
I wasn't going to tell you until week 8 or so.
No, you knew? Why did you let me say it?
I was looking at my cards or something, but it's Dirk Cutter.
Dirk
right?
Cutter.
Yeah.
Dirk Cutter.
That's a good football name.
Yeah, it's a really good name.
He could take them to a wild card.
So, I like following storylines. But when I pick like who's going to make wild card, I like big picture stuff, which is totally the wrong way to do it, I admit. I like slim down Jameis.
Oh, really?
I like year 2 Jameis. I like Jameis just with a swagger and big receivers, and he's in a shitty division just doing Jameis things. That makes sense to me as an angle.
Okay.
And I've swung back and forth on the Raiders, who were initially the bandwagon sleeper team. Then there was a backlash to the bandwagon. I'm going the other way. I just think they're going to be good.
You like them.
I'm not scared by the backlash. I think they have a lot of good football players.
The NFC, I think the 6th spot could be 9-7. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, after maybe Panthers, Packers, whoever you like between Seattle, Arizona, I think there's a drop off after that.
Would it be weird if I turned the lights off? I feel like it's too bright in here.
What, coming on to me?
I'm
Weird.
gonna.
What's going on?
Let's turn him up.
All right.
Yeah.
That's better.
I have these
But
in
we
my
don't have to
office.
sit on
I
the
have these
same couch
stupid
now. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I pour you a glass of wine? So that's another thing I was thinking.
Oakland, huh? Okay.
I think the NFC is going to be better than the AFC.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I think those top teams might be, but
I think like the top 8 or 9 in the NFC, if you stack them against the top 8 or 9 in the AFC, I just like the top 8 or 9 in the NFC more. Remember, we've had those years where we look at it and anytime the two conferences play, sometimes it leans one way. Maybe this is the NFC's year.
really. All right.
I had trouble coming up with 6 playoff teams in the NFC.
Well, what'd you give? Which two divisions did you give 2 playoff teams? AFC North.
So I think AFC North guaranteed two playoff teams.
Right.
And everyone has Pittsburgh penciled in, which I get, but I had Glazer on my show this week. Glazer really liked the Ravens as a sleeper. Now, the definition of a sleeper is nobody's talking about them. They're sleeping.
Yeah.
The Ravens are a good sleeper. I couldn't totally talk myself into it, but it made me think. Like, they had the year from hell last year. They had, a couple good draft picks, a couple good signings. They got better receivers for Flacco. He loves to throw the long ball.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about him. Good coach. I considered it. I couldn't talk about it. I think it's got to be Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
Yeah, they signed older free agents, but they it's weird when they cut their number 1 running back. Forsets all of a sudden gone. Everyone
Yeah.
fell in love with him. I don't know if that ever works out.
You don't think that bodes well?
I don't know. And their last 4 games are like New England, at Pittsburgh, and at Cincinnati, or 3 of the last 4.
Ugh.
It could be all right.
So, and I think 2 come out of the AFC West.
Right.
And I think I'm going with KC and Oakland.
KC's my Super Bowl winning team. 23 to 1.
Okay.
I think that's the way to go.
23 to 1
23 to
odds.
1.
So you're betting on Andy Reid.
Yeah, I think.
Do you want to set the money on fire right now, or what do you want to do with it?
Let's get it out on fire. Yeah, no, I think they get. I think we spoke about this last week. They get those years where they're 8-1, 9-1, and then they just can't finish the job.
Well, especially if
This is the
Denver's
year.
not good, which
Right.
is conceivable because they definitely got worse on defense. There's no question. I was talking to Mays today because I called Mays because he did a really good job with the preview, and I was
Right.
proud of him, so I called him. And he was saying, we were talking about neither of us like Denver, and the Pythagorean formula, which is a good indicator of whether a team overachieved or underachieved.
Right.
Their Pythagorean formula last year was 9.7 wins. So they overachieved by like 2 wins. The defense is worse. They lost a couple guys.
Yeah.
The quarterback situation, everyone's like, well, they didn't have a quarterback last year. At least like Manning could go up to the line and do Omaha and audible and kind of be like, oh, they're going to run. I'm going to call a pass play, even if it takes me 7 seconds to throw the pass.
Yeah.
At least it's the right play. Now they're asking this dude that I have people in my life who love college football, and nobody had heard of Trevor Simeon.
Right.
Like, who is this guy? And this is the guy they're banking on. I don't know. You could talk me into like 6-10 with this team.
I think they're getting too cute. And that's not to say that Mark Sanchez was going to save the franchise, but
Yeah.
they're really going about it a weird way. Like Simeon and Paxton Lynch, and that's what we're going with. We don't care what anyone says. We're that good on defense. It's like, oh, boy, that worked last year. I don't see it happening again.
Now, since the last time we did a pod, Bradford got traded to Minnesota.
Right.
One of my least favorites. I'm sure he's a nice person. I have nothing against him as a human being.
Terrible jerk.
He's cost me a lot of money over the years.
Yeah.
And then it swung the other way once I started gambling against him. So I'm probably even now with Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the answer.
You had me.
I don't see it.
You had me thinking. You had me. Well, actually, the trade hadn't happened yet, but you were okay with Sean Hill leading that team.
I mean, we're not coaching. We're not in practice every day watching Sean Hill run drills and stuff like that.
Right.
But the statistical argument was irrefutable. Like, Sean Hill had better stats and a better win-loss record than Sam Bradford. And I've also watched Sam Bradford.
Right.
I don't like him. I think he's like Captain Checkdown. I'm not a fan.
I just wonder if that's a kind of team, and I hate when people say a quarterback can manage a team and do well. And I think that's one of those teams that all you have to do is manage, and it'll be fine. That front seven's so strong. But
Whereas like Arizona, Maze and I were talking because I don't have Arizona. I'm taking
You
two
hate
chances with the playoff teams, Arizona
Right.
and Denver. I just have them out. I did research though. Last decade, remember every year 6 or 7 teams who made the playoffs got bounced the next year.
yeah,
Now it's 4. If you look like year after year, 7 or 8 teams who made the playoffs the year before come back the next year
Yeah.
and make it again.
there were only 2 surprises: the Texans and the Redskins, and that was because big injuries in the division.
Right. So I'm looking at the Cardinals, and the difference between the Cardinals and the Vikings, Mays pointed out, is that if Palmer gets hurt, or if Palmer breaks down, or if Palmer sucks, or if he has residue, whatever, from last season, they're screwed.
Yeah.
Because their whole offense revolves around him being able to spread the ball around and do his stuff.
Right.
Whereas Minnesota, like, that kind of survived with Bridgewater. That's all fine. I get it. But everyone's leaving out the part that it's a bad omen for your season when your quarterback's knee basically explodes 10 days before the season. I don't like the omen.
Yeah.
And I had them as a regressing team possibly anyway. I wasn't in love with that team.
Minnesota, you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they overachieved last year.
I like Zimmer though. There's always
I
a
like
coach,
Zimmer, too.
There's always a coach that rises like that. Look what he did with this garbage team.
Yeah.
Garbage team with Adrian Peterson.
You're going to have to score
Fun.
points, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, Peterson's 32. How long does that keep going?
It could be last year's Broncos. I don't know.
So who do you have as your 2 NFC wildcards?
So I had the Cowboys, but so now it's going to be I have Seattle and I have Minnesota still with 10 wins.
I revealed my Super Bowl pick on my HBO show, which has not aired yet, so you haven't seen it.
You want to whisper it to me?
I'm going to tell you because
Wanna
by
turn
the
the
time
lights
people
on
hear
and
this,
whisper?
they've already heard the
Okay, right.
show.
That's true.
I have the Patriots in the AFC.
What?
Yeah, I know. I know. Unorthodox.
Wow, talk about a sleeper.
Waiting for them in the NFC, the New York Football Giants.
Oh God.
The trilogy is going to happen, Sal. It's going to happen. It's destined.
Another Super Bowl no one could root for.
Oh,
No
stop
one
it.
could root for either
Everyone
team.
will root for Tom Brady to get
That'd
his
be fun.
revenge and get the trophy from Goodell.
That would be fun to see.
Yeah.
But then I think he would have to drop it and break his foot. I don't know. I don't know what would be happy with.
So who did you have KC playing?
KC against Green Bay, Super Bowl I rematch.
Why is everybody
KC wins
penciling
that.
Green Bay into the Super Bowl?
I don't
what
know.
What am I
It's
missing?
just Clay Matthews is healthy and Aaron Rodgers is healthy and
Oh,
Jordy Nelson. You know, I think they're okay. I think they'll do enough. I think that's a team that wins 10 by accident.
isn't Mike
And win
McCarthy
12.
making one Super Bowl? Wasn't that enough? Wasn't that enough
That's
for
enough?
Mike McCarthy? His next stop is going to be like Arizona State.
Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know. Why? What do you think? They win 9 games?
No, I mean, the good thing for them is it looks like they're in pretty good shape in that division.
Right.
Chicago and Detroit are cross-offs.
Right.
Philly's a cross-off.
I told you my parlay. I like
New Orleans is a cross-off.
with the no playoff. Who was it?
I thought we did it.
Detroit,
am I in on
Cleveland?
that?
We didn't do it yet.
Oh, we'll do
Detroit,
it after we
Cleveland.
finish the podcast.
The
And the
Lions,
Niners.
Browns, 49ers to not make the playoffs.
Genius.
Those 3 teams don't win 10
Can we-
games combined.
Can we throw the Eagles in there?
Yeah, we could.
The Eagles are trading guys they picked in the second round last year for like 5th round picks.
Right.
And just giving guys, these teams like the Browns are doing that too. They're just giving these
Yeah.
guys away for
Eagles
40
traded
cents
with
a
the
dollar.
Patriots. I think just that alone, you cross them off the list.
Yeah, that's a bad
It
idea.
never works out.
Thursday night. Let's go to week 1.
All
and
right,
how we're
week
going to do
1.
this is we're going to talk about, we're going to say what we guessed the lines were and then what the line was. But we have an extra wrinkle, courtesy of our friend Dan Sanborn.
What did Dan Sanborn say?
The Thursday night pick sponsored by Don Julio.
Really?
The Don Julio Thursday night shot of the week. We haven't come up with a name yet.
Finally, Dan Sanborn comes through for us.
I know. Well, I mean, where did he place in character of the year?
He was up there.
Was he like top 10?
Well, he revealed he has sex 4 to 6 times a week with his wife. I don't know if Don Julio knows about that.
Did he reveal that on a podcast or are we revealing that now?
No, I think no. Everyone should know by now.
That was the Don Julio shot of the week a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
Right.
so the
that's
Don
good.
Julio Thursday night shot of the week, Panthers at Broncos. I had the Panthers favored by 2.5. What'd you say?
I also had 2.5, so we're gonna tie right off the bat, the first one, and it's 3.
3.
Panthers are favored on the road against the Super Bowl champ. I don't know if you know this. These two teams played in the Super Bowl.
What?
last year. Yeah, this is a rematch. Yeah. Are we going to watch with Tony Kornheiser and Jeffrey Ross? Like we
That
did
would
the
be
Super
something.
Bowl? We should get together every year when they play.
I still feel like if they played that game 10 times, I think Cam has 7 good games out of the 10.
Yeah.
And then, or now maybe 3 good games out of the 10, 4 decent ones, and then 3 where it plays out like it played out that where it's
Like
just
it
bad
did.
play, bad
Yeah.
play. Oh no, things are melting down, and it just snowballed.
It's just
He
unbelievable.
wasn't. He shouldn't have been that bad in that game.
Right. Both defenses were great, and Peyton Manning, it really just got in his own head and said, this first drive just has to be big for me. And then, the butterflies will be all over the place, and we're going to win this game. I just have to drive us down the field. And that's all he really did, right?
That's
So sad.
It was a game managing. He barely even managed it.
Right.
I mean, he was on the Tesla autopilot and a couple times almost rear-ended somebody anyway, but
Yeah.
somehow got back to his house.
Yeah, Jeff Torborg managed it, I think.
Well, so for the Don Julio Thursday night shot,
What do we do?
we have to actually make a pick for this game.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just adding that wrinkle. I'm playing it by ear.
That's fine.
I like the Panthers.
Me
I
too.
think Trevor Simeon ends up being terrible in this game, and Bronco fans go, "Oh yeah, we have a 7th round pick as our QB. This probably might not go that well."
Right.
And
Me
then
too.
seeds of doubt and all that stuff.
I don't think Carolina's 15-1, but I think they're a solid team this year. They have revenge. The only thing I would say about this, the home team almost always wins this Thursday night game, right? That's the only thing I worry about. But
Yeah.
the Panthers pull it out, I say.
Is Al Michaels doing this game?
I believe so. He's your
Is it
friend.
NBC or CBS?
It's NBC, isn't it?
I don't
Tate, help
remember.
us out. We're gonna
Tate,
ask,
dude, come on,
We're gonna ask
Tate.
for a lot
Jesus.
of help early on here.
It's on NBC. So
It's an NBC
That's what I
game.
thought. Yeah.
No Tarico.
No,
Tarico. Yeah,
that's
Al
right.
Michaels.
Right.
And then Tarico and all of them were claiming, "Oh no, we never said he was." It was like, get the hell out of here.
Crazy, huh?
What are you talking about? All I know is Al Michaels is just gonna do well out of this.
Of course.
He'll
He always does.
make dollars.
The Sunday game. We'll talk. The Monday
He'll make
game.
some dollars.
The Monday crews are interesting. We'll get to that.
The Monday. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
all right. Sunday.
Sunday, all right. Baltimore, Jacksonville, and Tampa Bay are on a bye.
What?
No, not yet. Okay. Buffalo at Baltimore.
Buffalo at Baltimore. So I don't know why, but I had the Bills favored in this game, which was pretty stupid. I had the Bills by 1, and I don't know why I did that. I should have guessed the Ravens by 3.
I guessed I did hit this exactly.
What is
Ravens by 3.
Yeah,
It is
I don't know what
Ravens
I
by
was doing.
3.
I didn't realize that
Yeah.
the Bills, their defense, like Darius is out for the first couple games, and they're missing dudes. And
A lot of defenders.
the more I looked at it, the Bills might suck this year. It made me reevaluate the Rick Ryan first coach fired.
I think this is gonna. It could be, but this is gonna be the most overhyped game of the week as far as results go. Like if the Ravens win,
Right.
look out, they're going to the playoffs. Bills win, they're going to be untouchable. They even play the Patriots before Brady comes back. Like this is like the Kanye Bowl. I think it's going to be very overhyped.
The Kanye Bowl.
Most exaggerated claim on the team's future success. I think.
That's funny. I was thinking the Raiders Saints would be the overhyped.
Oh, really? That's right.
Because if the Raiders win, it'd be like, look, there they go, shootout.
They
This
can do
is
it
what
on the
they.
road.
And then if the Saints win, it'd be like, oh, the Saints, Drew Brees.
That's interesting.
Drew Brees. Did you see that contract Drew Brees took?
It's pretty hefty, right?
It was not only hefty, but it was. I already won my Super Bowl ring. Just pay me now.
Is that what it is?
That's not
Yeah.
a contract you take when you want to win one more Super Bowl before you retire. That's a contract you take when you've already won the Super Bowl and you're
Interesting.
good.
Wow.
And you're just like, yeah.
Did he say that in the press conference?
He
That's
did.
Weird.
He's like, guys, I won in 2009.
Yeah.
2010, 2000,
Probably right. in
February
there.
2010, whatever the hell it was. Yeah. Cross off the Saints for the
Yeah.
rest
Wow.
of the decade.
All right. Green Bay at Jacksonville.
Green Bay at Jacksonville. I had the Packers by 4. What'd you have?
I also had Packers by 4. It was 5 in the beginning of the week. It's 5.5 now.
So there's some Jaguars buzz, and then there's some backlash to the Jaguars buzz, and then a lot of people pointing out that Blake Bortles is actually Blake Garbage Time Bortles, and a lot of the stats came when they were down 20 and throwing every down, all that stuff.
Right.
They did add a lot of dudes, and I do like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, they
Excited
loaded
for
up
him.
that defense. They're
Load up
very
the
young.
defense. I do not trust Blake Bortles. I've never believed in Blake Bortles. I'm not taking Blake Bortles against Aaron Rodgers. I don't care how many points this is. I'm still going to take the Packers.
I was, I'm going to think about this one for a while. But in the beginning of the week, I was reading about how hot it's going to be. Oh, the Packers players they're not going to adjust to how hot it is, swamp-like conditions in Jacksonville. And then I'm like, wait a minute.
They're
Everyone
Milwaukee.
Everyone practiced all summer. It's miserable heat anywhere in the country all summer long. I'm not buying into this. I'm sure they've been uncomfortable all summer playing outdoors.
You've had to spend time in the summer in Milwaukee with your lovely wife. That's where her family's from.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's
if you're
not
not on a
freezing
boat
cold
in
in
the lake.
Wisconsin in August.
No. So everyone shut up with that narrative.
They should be fine.
Yeah.
I have to say, I want to see Rodgers kind of come back. It's fun when Rodgers throws for 400 yards and goes 25 for 28. And it's clear that the Nelson thing, all of us underestimated it. Everyone's like, oh, Randall Cobb will just step in. It's like, no, actually, he's a slot receiver. He won't step in.
Yeah, and I
they
think
need a deep threat.
It's a little bit of a knock on Rodgers, who before last year, it was like he makes every receiver better. It's like, well, no, actually, Jordy Nelson's pretty good.
Yeah, you still need somebody who has some sort of separation at some point.
I'm okay with either team winning this game. I mean,
really?
Yeah, I mean,
either team?
Yeah, in fact, there's no way that happens, right? I don't know. There are new rules, but all right, San Diego at Kansas City. My Super Bowl winner, 23-1.
Against our first coach to get fired nominee, Mike McCoy, plus 500.
Right.
I did a Glazer bag. I fired all these questions at him, and the first coach fired, I prefaced it. We ended up taking it out because we needed it for time, but I prefaced it with like, I know media members hate this question because the guy has a family and blah, 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 but who is going to be the first coach fired? And he immediately went into a minute long, I hate this question. These guys have a family. And it's like, look, somebody's going to get fired.
Yeah.
Why can't we wager on this?
Sure, why
I
not?
have nothing against Mike McCoy's family. I just happen to think he's going to be the first coach who's going to be unemployed.
And you know what? None of these guys' families like them anyway. They're home 45 minutes a week, so don't worry about the family too much.
They're home, and then they immediately want to get back to their family, or back to football.
That's
and
it.
get away from their families.
So don't worry about it too much. What'd you have for this? San Diego, Kansas City?
I had 8.5, and it feels like a tease.
I went lower. I said 6.5, and it is 7 right now. So yeah,
The one thing we should point out to America: watch out for San Diego on the road. You just got to flip them. San Diego on the road is actually like, that's when they're free and happy. And when they're home, that's when either 20,000 seats are empty, or there's 35,000 Cowboy fans or 40,000 Bears fans, and they're bummed out and it's sad. And I don't know. I'm for whatever reason, I'm more afraid of them in road games.
I agree. For some reason, that team plays like they want to move to L.A. they don't want to.
Actually, let's talk this through so we don't do it this weekend. So I talk you into a tease with the Chiefs and somebody else.
Okay.
They're up 20-0 at halftime. You're all fired up about your Super Bowl bet. It's great. I'm almost ready to cross it off. Turn the game, 4 TVs. It's off the TVs. And then at about 12:50 our time, it's like, let's go to KC where Phillip Rivers is bringing the Chargers back, and he's doing garbage Phil Rivers things.
Travis
and throwing
Benjamin, what a signing this is.
Watch this. Phil
4
Rivers, it
touchdowns.
bounces off a helmet and goes right into the hands of Antonio Gates. And then we win by 3. Oh, no. What would the tease be?
1, half, whatever.
Well, it goes into OT and it's a tie. And whatever happens where we lose.
We have a better kicker.
Kicker.
We'll be all right. So we need a second team on the teaser.
All right. So
You don't like Green Bay, right?
no, hold this thought. Sal, our wives love wine.
Yeah, they do.
They love whining about our faults, and they love wine. That's a I wrote that
Tell me
ahead
you
of
wrote
time.
that.
Yeah, I wrote that ahead of time. I didn't ad-lib. I'm not good enough to ad-lib that. I think we need to sign them up for Club W. Club W delivers wine straight to your door. It's personalized to your taste through their palate quiz. They work with top winemakers and growers from around the world directly to make all of their own wine. They even partner with local artists to develop wine labels that are unique works of art. You know those bottles at the liquor store that go for $20 or more? That we used to at Jimmy's old house. We stopped that liquor store to bring bottle of wine. Well,
you don't need it anymore.
Club W, the bottles just show up at your house. They cost $13 a pop. No risk whatsoever. No membership fee. No cancellation fee. 100% satisfaction guarantee. BS podcast listeners get $20 off their first order by going to clubw.com/BS Free shipping on orders of 4 bottles or more.
Wow.
Once again, that's clubw.com/BS. I got to say, the Wine Club is a great Mother's Day or
pretty good.
Valentine's Day or anniversary gift if you are dating somebody or married somebody who likes wine.
I think our
It
wives
always works.
They like wine so much they would make it easy on Club W. They're like, don't even meet me at the house. Where are you coming from?
I'll come to you.
Because on La
Forget
Brea
about the free shipping.
right at the light. Yeah.
All right, back to the
All
games.
right. Oakland at New Orleans. This is the one
We're
you've
going to learn
done.
a lot. There's a lot to learn. I had the Saints by 3.5 because I think the gambling public still respects the Saints, and I don't get it.
You won this one. I said Saints by 4.
Yeah.
And it's Saints by only 1.
Raiders bandwagon.
Raiders bandwagon. Maybe Vegas is being a little generous to Oakland because they want them to move there. Do we ever think that?
Oh, wow. It's like a Jedi mind
yeah,
trick.
come on. Look, we favor you every game almost.
Oakland plays the NFC South and the AFC South, and they play San Diego twice.
Yeah.
There's your case right there for 10 wins.
Right, but
those 12 games I just listed could be 10-2.
They had a weird thing with 1 o'clock games.
Yeah,
or something.
you said that last
5,
week.
1 o'clock, 1 p.m.
But
games.
most of them are against crap teams.
Yeah.
So they might be okay.
3 of the first 4 on the road. If they get by that stretch, they'll be all right, I think.
I have another prediction. I think Khalil Mack replaces J.J. Watt as the new guy that people just gush about.
Yeah. Let's bet that. I think
On
it
the
was like
shows.
plus 550 or something.
Khalil Mack. Oh, my God. I'm actually glad ESPN mixed it up with their Sunday show. I
you
always
are?
liked Randy Moss.
Yeah. I mean, that was not by design, right? They kind of lucked into that.
Which one? They got
Well, they
Randy
brought
Moss.
Keyshawn back.
They
I can't
put
even keep
Dilfer
track
on
what
there.
they
I don't
did.
think Dilfer was on there last
Oh,
year.
he wasn't?
Keyshawn's out.
Yeah.
I really like Chris Carter, but I don't know. Change is good sometimes, and that show I thought had lost its
Right.
luster. Although, do you even watch the Sunday shows?
No, I don't think I'm driving to where we watch the games, but yeah, I don't know.
I feel like the ESPN show is the only show I'd watch because it's on so early.
That's true.
Come in by 9 o'clock. I'm in full fantasy
Exactly.
gambling research mode,
checking stuff
and
out.
everything. Yeah.
All right.
keep going.
Chicago at Houston.
Texans by 7.5 over Chicago.
You win this one. I went way low. I said 3.5, and it's 6. And I don't like it. I don't know.
So we're in this wins pool
Oh yeah.
that's really fun. That I think we've talked about on the pod, where there's 10 teams.
You should post the numbers.
I'm going to post it on Facebook tonight, actually. 10 teams, and you get assigned by whatever your order is. You have to pick in these 3 spots. So I had 10, 12, and 24 were my 3 teams, 3 spots I got to pick in. And you were like 7, 11, and 26 or
7,
something.
11, and 28.
20.
Yeah.
So I'm 10, I know you're 11, and then I'm 12.
You really think you pulled one over on me here? Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
I really want to take Houston 10. And you had said on the podcast we did last week that you didn't like Houston, you liked Indianapolis. I'm like, this is great. I'm going to take Houston 12. Sal won't take Houston.
Wow.
And then I'm picking between the Giants and Vikings. And I spent, I don't know, 20 solid minutes trying to figure out if you like the Giants or the Vikings.
It's one of those drafts that goes anywhere from an hour to 6 days.
Right. It's just on email.
Yeah.
And it's just total wins. You pick the 3 teams, add the wins up at the end of the year, and you got to get to around 30.
Oh, you think that high?
Yeah, I think 30.
Oh, I thought it was like 28, 7.
So I took the Giants. I left you with the Vikings because I just wasn't going to let Sam Bradford ruin my wins pool. I just couldn't do it mentally. So I think if I get 10 from the Giants,
You have Houston too.
I get 11 from Houston, I get 9 from Tampa, I get to 30. I'm not saying it'll happen, but that's what I need. Who were your 3?
I don't know about your 11 from Houston. I had Kansas City, the Super Bowl champions.
So you
should be
need
good.
13 from them.
I probably should get 13 from them.
Minnesota. You need 10 or 11.
And then, boy, when you get down to the 28 team, it's rough. I had, who did I even have? Philly?
Yeah, I think you took Philly. Or the Rams?
No, Daniel took the Rams.
I was surprised the Titans went to 30. I almost took them at 24.
Before, yeah.
I took the Bucks. I like the Bucks, as we discussed.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about this. This seems high, this line.
There's some Derrick Henry buzz now. Are you worried about our Ezekiel Elliott Rookie of the Year bet at all?
No.
A lot of Derrick Henry buzz.
How many touches are you going to get?
I don't know. DeMarco Murray pulls a hamstring like
Yeah.
that. Like that guy gets hurt half the time anyway. Houston's first 6, we should just mention. Home for Chicago, home for KC, at New England against Garoppolo. And that's on a Thursday. Home for Tennessee, at Minnesota, and then home Sunday night against Indianapolis.
They play a first place schedule. They paid their quarterback $72 million for 4 years. He's taken 620 snaps. I don't think this works out.
You watched him though, right?
Sure.
Did you feel like he was competent?
I did, but I went in waves with him, and as did his team. You know, like he didn't finish it off when he should have.
I like him. I
did?
like him. I'm in on him.
All right.
Yeah.
Lamar Miller's a good signing.
By the way, Glazer trained Jadeveon Clowney
He did?
because he has all these guys that he trains at his MMA gym.
Right.
He said the guy's going to be a beast.
Wow.
Now, who knows if it'll happen, but he was just adamant. He's like, this guy's he's in phenomenal shape. This guy's ready to
He's going to beat
be
guys.
somebody.
He's going to get a lot of like unsportsmanlike conduct
Yeah, it's
penalties for
ready,
beating people up.
ready to play
That's
Sue
great.
as like the dick stomper.
Cleveland at Philly.
So this is interesting because Cleveland has both first round picks. Mm-hmm. So they literally can't lose. And Philly,
They could have back-to-back
they could have the
picks.
first and second picks
That's
in the
going to
draft.
happen. That's
The
gonna
Niners are going to have their say.
happen. Right.
And maybe who else?
If I'm Cleveland, if you're Cleveland, do you want the first 2 picks? Because it's so much pressure there. Just so much pressure. You know you're going to screw it up.
I feel, didn't we really create the Cleveland Browns to have the first ever scenario where the same team has the first and second picks and somehow
Yeah.
whiffs on both?
Maybe so.
It feels like their destiny.
Right. Yeah, let them do it already. That'd be
So
funny.
Cleveland really doesn't care about this season. I mean, it seems like it's going to be Bob Griffin and then just them throwing shit against a fan.
I mean, they took D. Podesta, a baseball guy, in there who's into numbers and rebuilding teams. And it's weird to say that they're going to have a rebuilding year, but here it comes.
I had the Eagles by 6.
I
think
said...
I
Go.
guessed that Vegas was psyched
Wait,
out
no,
by
you
the Browns.
didn't. You
What did I
didn't?
have?
I thought you had 4.
All right, I have 4. Whatever I said to you.
Yeah, it's better if you have 4. I had 4 also. It's 3.5.
Okay.
So we
I had
tied
the
that
Eagles
one.
by 4.
Yeah. In a way, this is the most interesting game on the slate. They give Carson Wentz the ball.
In what way?
He's favored. He's the only first game quarterback that's favored this week.
Yeah.
And
And he
I don't
hasn't
know.
really played in the preseason, right?
No, I just think did something to his ribs. I think one of these teams is on his way to 3 wins. Neither are going to make the playoffs.
The other's on the way to 2.
Yeah, the other's on the 1.5.
This will decide who goes 3-13
I'm
or 2-14.
interested in this though. I don't know why.
I feel bad. I have so many Philly fans in my life, and
yeah, get
they
rid of
went.
them.
Yeah, now it's like they. Do you even get together? If there's 6 Philly fans in the Ringer any given Wednesday universe,
tough.
do they even get together? And be like, hey guys, where are you watching the Eagles game? Like, who would do that?
Right. They may have the best defense in the NFC East. I don't know if that's not saying a whole lot, but that could carry them for a few games.
So you're predicting some friskiness?
Maybe.
Okay.
Minnesota, Tennessee.
Oh man. So I have the Titans getting 1.5 at home.
So we split this. I had them getting 2.5, and it's 2 right now.
Do you like the Titans in
Little
this
bit.
game?
A little bit.
Feels we're gonna have 2 home dogs win, and they're at least right.
It probably makes sense to take all underdogs this week, although there are many low spreads. But do you feel between Jacksonville over Green Bay or Tennessee over Minnesota? If you go money line, I think you're going to win one of those.
Win one of those.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a great money line.
It's not a ton. It's not a ton, but I do think there's an upset in there somewhere.
Do you think Bradford has the Dick Tease performance to reel in the Vikings fans before he
That's the phrase of
kicks
the week
them?
for you, huh?
That's the second time I said that.
When the lights are low.
Yeah, the lights are low. Can I pour you some more Club W?
Tampa Bay and Atlanta.
Oh, my team.
This is your team.
The year Jameis. Tampa's first 5. At Atlanta, at Arizona, home for the Rams, home for Denver, at Carolina. If they can get through this 2-3, I think they get the wild card. They have to
Right.
go at least 2-3. Mm-hmm. I have Tampa getting 6.
Yeah, I had Tampa getting 5, and it's only Atlanta -3.
Yeah.
Fix is in that game. I don't know.
Or Atlanta's terrible.
Well, I don't trust it. Matt Ryan traditionally kills Tampa Bay in these games. It's like,
Here's the part where I would ask you, are we sure Matt Ryan's good? I'm actually sure. I don't need to ask.
you're sure he's not good?
I'm sure he's not good.
No,
yeah.
I know, but
yeah.
he
He used to be good. I don't know what
He
happened.
beats
He's not
up
good
this
anymore.
team. Julio Jones beats up the Bucks. He's a little banged up, but I don't know why it's 3. I would stay away. This is my first stay away.
Tate,
of the
you in
week.
on Jameis?
I'm in.
Tate's
love
in.
it.
Tate's in. Tate and
He's
I are
thinner.
not Jameis.
He's thinner than the crab legs he used to steal. I don't know. I think he needs to bulk up a little. All right.
That was a good one.
Cincinnati, thank you. Cincinnati at the Jets.
So this feels a little playoffy to me, this one.
Yeah?
I'm excited for this one. I had the Bengals laying 2.5 at the Jets.
Good job by you. It's exactly 2.5. I had Jets -2. I was way off on this. Way off.
I don't think Buffalo's going to be good, and I don't think Miami's going to be good. And I was like, maybe the Jets can go like 9-7. And then I realized they went 10-6 last year, which I totally forgot.
Right.
And they almost made the playoffs.
They blew
it
it.
was
They were
so
in the driver's seat.
It was so uninteresting, even as it was happening, that I just forgot the whole thing.
Right.
So,
Well, we went over their first 6, and it doesn't get worse. Cincy at Buffalo, at KC, Seattle, at Pittsburgh, at Arizona.
that's
It doesn't
tough.
get worse than that.
That's tough. And the Fitzpatrick thing.
Yeah.
Anytime your facial hair gets too crazy when you're an athlete, it's usually a sign of, it's important of bad things to
Right.
come.
Exactly.
It's one thing to have the facial hair, but then when it really,
Except when
you're really
your Red
going
Sox
for it.
did that with the burned helmets and nobody shaved for 7.5 years. It worked for them.
Which time?
I don't know.
Oh, the playoff
Yeah.
beards in 13.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It doesn't
All right.
usually work,
You know what?
I'm with you.
Not only do you completely changed my mind. I'm in on the Jets. I think they go 12-4.
Are you in
I
on...
still have my Beards Red Sox t-shirt.
I'll say this. I think Brandon Marshall's the best TV analyst out there.
He's unbelievable.
He's excellent. Did you watch? You don't watch Inside the NFL. Did you watch
I do.
it?
I'm taping it this year.
JB is back.
JB's back.
He's back.
What happened to the other guy?
They brought him on in a very awkward beginning to the segment, Adam Shine. They're like, don't think Adam Shine's out. In fact, Adam, come in here. And they're like, you're going to be doing other stuff behind the scenes, right? He's like, yeah, I'll be around. Like, oh, boy. That's a great deal of fun. But Brandon Marshall, you should have him on. You have that show.
Unfortunately, my show's HBO
Oh,
and
you
his show
can't
is
have it.
Showtime, which
I was
is
gonna
an
say,
obstacle.
What's it called? Every other Wednesday?
Every other Wednesday.
You should have him on every other Wednesday.
I should have him on every other
I've not
Wednesday.
yet seen it. I've heard good things.
It's okay. Yeah,
Try
we
to
do
get
it all
Brandon
right.
Marshall on.
You know what's interesting is there's a whole slew of great TV color guys coming. Mm-hmm. Like in basketball, I think there's going to be a bunch of them that
Really?
are on their way. Yeah, I think Dwayne Wade could be really good.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't know when he's going to actually do it, but
they
Kobe
should have a
could be
draft
good
for that.
for the next great color guy.
Draft, yeah, like the networks draft. There's 4. The
Well, what's
3
Peyton Manning
eligible.
doing? I mean, what a dick.
What do you want him to do?
He's just
He can't
being
do
a
anything
dick.
right. Is he calling you now?
Nah, this is my annual. This call from my wife during the podcast is presented by Don Julio.
She's waiting for a wine.
Now, what? Peyton Manning, really? He's not going to be on a TV studio show or announce games?
He has to do it right
The
away.
fuck, Peyton
He
Manning?
can't take a year off.
What? Take a year off from what? He's just home. What's he doing?
You just want to make fun of him. He's
I
denying
don't want to make
you.
fun of him. I thought he was going to be really good. He did the Rob Lowe roast, for God's sakes.
Right,
He
yeah,
can't
yeah.
sit in a booth with like freaking, I don't
Yeah.
know,
Well,
anybody.
He's got the direct TV
Can he be with Kevin
commercials.
Burkhardt announcing some Niners-Cardinals game?
All right, yeah, Peyton, stop
Come
being
on,
such a
Peyton
dick.
Manning. Jesus.
Come on, step it up.
Stop being a jerk. Speaking of Peyton Manning, let's talk about NFLSundayTicket.tv.
Oh, good. It works.
If you're a diehard NFL fan who can't get DirecTV where you live, we have good news. You can still watch football games on Sunday without a satellite. For just $49.99 a month, you can stream games using your favorite device. As we covered last week, less than 10 years ago, you had the DirecTV suitcase that you had to carry around. It weighed like 50 pounds.
We watched Stafford, right? On Georgia. It was a bowl
It
game.
worked once. It was worth it. Whatever
Yeah.
Jimmy paid, it was worth it for the one time we
Right.
watched a game that we've been on. If you're a college student, there's an exclusive deal. You can get NFL Sunday Ticket for just $24.99 a month. So I think that works out to $100 for 4 months.
Don't even try to figure
Okay.
it out. It
Yeah,
might be
it's
worth
cool.
going back to college just for get those rates.
And right now, our listeners get 10% off when using the promo code RINGER. So if you're in college and use the promo code RINGER, it's going to be less than almost 100. But I can't even add. Go to NFLSundayTicket.tv. Use promo code RINGER today. You can do this. You don't need the satellite anymore.
That's a good idea.
Let's keep going.
Late afternoon games now. Miami at Seattle.
We're in the late afternoon now.
We made it.
So what was the 1 o'clock game?
Of course, there's a full slate, and they're only giving us 3 late afternoon games. Typical.
So what was the best game? Cincy Jets?
Best game. I like Cleveland Philly, but
That's terrible. You're a
Cincy
masochist.
Jets. Cincy Jets is the best.
Okay. All right. Late
Miami
afternoon.
Seattle
3
is
games.
not a great game. This is the suicide pool darling.
Which one?
Miami at Seattle.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one. Elimination pool. Wait, how many different names do we have now to be politically correct about the suicide pool?
I shouldn't call it suicide pool, right?
I don't care if you call it suicide pool.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. But elimination pool and like a
Knockout.
knockout. Then there's a confidence pool.
Right. There's a lot of
We need to
pools.
work on all these stupid names. I have the Seahawks and my MVP pick, Russell Wilson,
Wow.
laying 8.5 to the Miami
All
Dolphins.
right, I went a little higher. I said 9, and it's 10.5.
That rules them out for the tease I want to do with KC.
You think so? You don't think they just went by a touchdown? You're fine.
I don't know if I trust the Seahawks yet.
We don't
to
do the
that way.
tease. We always go 7-1 or 7.5 to 1.5. We don't do 10-4. But
The 4 makes me nervous
Does
because
it?
that's when the Ryan Tannehill garbage time TD
Right.
at the end.
yeah.
Do you think there's a chance that Marshawn Lynch will be a Patriot in like 4 weeks?
Oh, that could be.
Like a 10% chance? 15%?
How hasn't that happened
We
yet?
signed Bishop Sankey for our practice squad.
Right,
I would say we're almost desperate.
He could be the quarterback after Garoppolo craps
Bishop
the bed this
Sankey.
week.
Well, we have Jacoby, the other Jacoby.
Oh, you do?
Not
right.
Dave Jacoby, but
No.
Jacoby, whatever, Jacoby Brissett. Is that his name? I just call him Jacoby. Yeah.
NC State, look at
Tate
Tate
livened
lit
up.
up right there.
But
yeah, I don't know
think
about.
one of my Pat's predictions is I think Garoppolo does better than people expect for these first 4 games. In between week 4 and week 5, Belichick ships him out for a second
Interesting.
for the Bradford deal to somebody.
Because this is interesting because the next game's Giants at my beloved Dallas Cowboys, and I was going to make you a side bet, Dak against Garoppolo, who has better stats. We could use any quarterback measurement you want. I don't care.
You're going to be mad at me.
What
I've
is it?
done kind of a 180 on Dak.
Oh, you like him. You didn't like him last week.
So on my HBO show this week,
Yeah.
Glazer did this whole gushing monologue about Dak and how tough it is to be the guy in Dallas.
Right.
You're the Dallas QB. It's an extra responsibility. Some guys can't handle it. It's like he said it was like being the Yankees shortstop, different famous jobs. And he's like, this kid's got it. He's got something about him, and he could see it, and the other guys in the team feel that way. And I'm like, so I went home, did some Dak research. I like the quotes. It reminded me a little of my old man crush, Russell Hustle and Bustle in
Yeah,
2012.
that's what I thought.
Everyone talking about what a leader he is, and he's unflappable. A lot of unflappables thrown around with
Keep it
Dak
coming.
Prescott.
Very poised. It's nice.
Poised.
Nice to see if the offensive line breaks down, which shouldn't happen much. He's not at a loss.
A
He makes
few,
plays on
a
his
few
own.
doesn't seem like a rookie.
Right.
Few of those. So I don't know. It made me reconsider.
What's the cutoff for Romo coming back? 5-3, 6-2. I think 5-3 it's still Romo's job.
Romo should do TV.
You stop.
No, he should do TV.
He is. He's going to be on your TV throwing touchdown passes.
I would rather he was on my show. I just think his body's telling him something. How many times can he get hurt? He had to have his collarbone shaved.
Let me say.
He's going to be on TV for 25 years.
Yeah, he'll do that when he does that. But mentally, he's not even close to retiring. I'll tell you
He
that
has a
much.
compressed fractured vertebrae.
These guys are tough. They'll be fine. What'd you have for this line? Giants at Dallas.
I had the Giants by 3 at Dallas.
I had 2.5, and it's 1.5, so I get it. It's a tough one.
I said to Mays today as we were talking that for whatever reason in September with the NFC East, there's a game, either week 1 or week 2, that
Yeah.
completely locks down the playoff picture for some reason.
Right.
And we get to week 16, week 17, it's like, remember in week 2 when they blah, blah.
That was it. You think this
I
is
wonder
it?
if this could be the game. Like you're up the whole game and something stupid happens, or
I'm
the
just
Giants
glad.
are up, or Eli mismanages another 2-minute drill. But it does feel like these September NFC East games, they come back.
I mean more. Right.
They rear their ugly head.
Yep.
They last. They linger.
A lot of ugly heads on that Giant team. But I hate losing to them, but I'm just glad it's on a night game.
Manning's Eli's the last Manning now.
I don't know about that. You think?
The last NFL Manning. This is it.
There'll be one.
Spreading his wings.
That's what Peyton's doing. He's
You
going off
hate the
having
Giants.
another
You're
one.
not rational about them.
No, I can't. I
What
can't see
scares you about the Giants?
Well, they did a lot this year.
They did a lot. They
Free
signed some free
agents-wise.
agents.
Yeah.
They signed some dudes.
Yeah, I don't like.
Everyone likes their receiver,
Not a great running
Shepard.
game. Shepard could be good.
They like Shepard.
Good odds. I think he's 40-1 for Rookie of the Year. Not a
A lot
bad.
of Shepard buzz.
Take a flyer on him. Victor Cruz is probably back.
I was like the last person who realized that Ruben Randall wasn't good.
You were
I
the
think
last one?
He's
Yeah.
one of those guys. He had such a great name. I just assumed he was good. I
Right.
didn't realize he was
He got
terrible. It's
back.
like Ruben Randall. How could he be back? What a great name.
He got by on his name.
So they replaced Randall with Shepard, and Shepard does stuff.
Yeah. They got Vernon, a defensive end from Miami. Jenkins, a cornerback from the Rams. They lost
Jenkins was a big one.
Amukamara
Yeah.
and Ayers, but 6-10. I think they get to 10 wins, unfortunately.
Do you think JPP, the fact that he's about to win like a $120 million lawsuit against ESPN is going to hurt his desire for football? Or
Is
no?
he really? Is that what it is?
Nah, this lawsuit he's filing,
Wow.
it has a chance to do pretty well.
That's
it seems
more
like.
than you're going to get from them, I think.
No, I think my statute of limitations
That's
passed. Yeah, I might have one more month.
I would lose a finger for 120 million. Would you? I would definitely lose a digit. Either of them.
I don't think there's any question. I could just type with one hand.
Yeah. What a deal.
Yeah.
Thanks, ESPN.
Detroit and Indianapolis. Detroit
It's
and
the
Indianapolis.
first year neither of us.
Yeah,
we
we
could either whatever. We could say
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Let's do it.
Detroit and Indianapolis. I have the Colts favored by 7. I forgot. This is one of my hot takes. I think the Colts are going to suck.
Well, so
I
does,
just think
so
they're
does-
gonna blow.
So does Vegas because I had 6 and it's 3.5.
Yeah.
And Detroit is, I went by win.
Detroit's not good either.
I cheated a little. I'm going to do the lines by win expectancy. Like,
Yeah.
What is Detroit? Aren't they like 5.5 or something? How are
Mays
they
had
only
them
getting
higher
3?
than I expected in his preview because they have some
Right.
They have some good players on both sides of the ball, but I had just mentally crossed them off. But
Oh, they're over under 7. Wow.
yeah,
Is that right? Yeah.
Bears. You know, it'd be fun if they had combined over unders for shitty teams like Bears Lions combined. Mm-hmm. If I gave you 13, would you go under or over?
13's a good number. I think 8 and 5.
I think I'd go under.
You go under slightly. I would
think
stay away.
just because I think the NFC is good.
This is another fixed game. Don't
Well,
don't love the Colts here.
the Colts. So one thing that people always forget when they're doing picks and stuff for this first month is you got to look at the suspensions and the injuries.
Sure.
And the Colts got annihilated for September, so I'd watch out for that. I think
Yeah.
they lost 4 of their better starters.
Right, and the tight end is banged up too.
Yeah,
Allen.
I would put a red flag. Be careful on this one.
Yeah.
Also, hate to say it because I loved watching him play. One of my favorites, but I think Calvin Johnson, possible Ewing theory candidate.
Oh, really?
What the fuck did they ever win with Calvin Johnson? They ever win a playoff game with him?
He had one of his worst years, Stafford, last year with Calvin Johnson.
And then they
so-
got Jim Bob Cooter, who every talking head just goes crazy.
yeah.
Jim Bob Cooter. And Cooter's in there now. It's like, it's a way to be funny without just by
Right.
saying somebody's name.
Yeah, you can
But
say
the guy
Cooter.
did make a big dramatic impact on Stafford.
He did,
I don't
right?
I'm tired of Stafford. I'm tired of Matt Ryan. I'm tired of Andy Dalton. I'm tired of that whole class of QBs and us arguing whether they're elite or not.
Right.
I'm just done. I'm done with the conversation. Matt Stafford's been in football now. It's like ninth year.
Yeah.
I think the jury came in with a verdict.
No running back. Can throw it, loft it up whenever he wanted.
How much did Theo Reddick go for in our league?
Oh, did he go?
I don't even know if he
I don't
went.
think he
Cut
got
80
picked.
passes last year.
Yeah, I know. There's some good guys in the waiver
He'll be.
wire still.
Yeah. You know what I learned is that I should have done.
Your boy Brandon LaFell is
I know.
on. He's a second receiver for the Bengals. No one took him.
I should have done more research.
Yeah.
I thought just because I had Tate, I thought it'd be fine. Tate's just like, get him. Tate thought we had $500.
Tate was mesmerized by the
I have Gronk
surroundings.
and I have my man Zeke Elliott. Is
Yeah.
he Zeke? Ezekiel? What do I call him?
You
Zeke?
call him Zeke. Yeah.
EZ?
Ezekiel. Yeah.
He's going to stay out of trouble, right?
I don't know about that.
Because I have him and Gronk as my best guys.
Oh, that's fun.
Over under for off-field incidents between those two is like 1.5.
Yeah.
The Pats named Gronk a captain.
They did?
Yeah,
Captain
he's one of the
Morgan?
4. They vote for the captains. Yeah, he's one of the 4 captains.
Wow.
Imagine like looking at Gronk for leadership.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gronk, thanks for those words of wisdom you gave me last week.
Could be some cruise.
You told me that a blowjob before the night of the game is a good thing.
Did he say that?
No, he didn't. I'm just trying to think of what Gronk would say as a captain.
I see, yeah.
Do a shot before practice today. It'll
Is
loosen
he a
you up.
captain because he's been on the most cruises out of anybody?
I
Is it
think
literally a cat? Does he?
he's the only one who might
ship?
he might take it seriously by wearing a ship captain hat to the
A lot
coin
of fun.
toss.
I hope
He's
that-
the best.
It's just Goodell's going to suspend him for something, right? They have to find something.
I gotta say, when people they get pissy about Boston, about all the titles that the Boston teams have won, they should really be pissy about all the great characters we've had.
Right.
We have Manny Ramirez, Big Papi, Gronk.
true.
We've had
I know.
just some absolute weirdos who were great.
Pedro, for sure.
Pedro. Papi is like, it's really starting to hit me. I haven't felt this way.
What, him leaving?
Yeah, it's like when I remember when Rufus started to get old, and I started to think like my second golden in just big picture terms of like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
Rufus is 10. Like I don't know how many ball tosses we have left. Then he just dropped dead like overnight.
Right.
The Poppy thing, it's like
It's going to be the same thing.
it's 4 weeks plus playoffs. Yeah, there's not the overnight part of it,
Right.
but you know, like Rodriguez almost threw a no-hitter on Sunday.
Right.
And my dad was here.
You had a tough week. The one run loss, the A's.
Oh, it was terrible. We
Lost, the San
outscored
Diego
them
lost.
27-5 and barely won the series. But so my dad and my stepmom were here, and we're all going to go out for this late brunch. And we're through 4 innings, and Rodriguez doesn't have a hit yet. And I'm like,
Stay.
I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
So now my wife and my stepmom are mad at me. And they're like, well, it's the 4th inning. How do you know he's going to throw a no-hitter? I'm like, trust me. The A's are terrible, and he's only at like 50 pitches. Like, we're staying. And my dad's like, oh, I don't know. Meanwhile, he totally wants to stay. Like, he totally sold me
Sure,
down the
yeah.
river. So anyway, Rodriguez gets to the 8th inning. Line drive, bounces off his foot. He catches it, throws the guy out. Instant replay, they reverse it.
Right,
And they come out of commercial, and Ortiz is just sitting next to him. And Rodriguez is bummed out, and Ortiz is just like doing the big brother thing. And that's when it hit me. I was like, fuck.
You got sad. No more Big Brothers.
Well, it's just
after
like
this.
he was like the greatest guy to have in the dugout. Did the Mets ever have a guy like that in the dugout?
No, not in the dugout, not in the stands,
Like he
not
was
in the bullpen.
the greatest teammate. I mean, Hanley Ramirez is redeemable now. This guy
Because
was
of
like,
that?
everyone in the Dodgers like, this guy's the biggest cancer ever. It's
Right.
like you might as well just sign leukemia. Like that's, and then he goes there, and now he's this happy-go-lucky first baseman, and
Right.
Ortiz has like molded him in a.
I mean, Gary Carter was a great guy for the Mets, but took shit for it.
Right.
That was it. So, but otherwise, he was a good.
And they always
clubhouse
said that
guy.
Hernandez was the leader, and meanwhile, in the 10th inning of Game 6,
He was in the clubhouse.
he's in the clubhouse having a cigarette in the toilet. And they were like, hey, we're coming back. He's like, what? I think he made the second out.
I want to know. They'll never show this. I want to know how many guys are in the clubhouse now at any given Wednesday, any given time. Like
There
now,
must be a
now
bunch.
with texting, like you can't text in the dugout. So these guys must be right. Like they must be on the phone.
They're
Between
probably
innings,
DMing
extra
girls in the stands.
yeah, right.
I was another guy who was in the dugout in Game 6 was Kevin Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
Because he was like undressed and came back out and apparently wasn't wearing a cup, and his boys were just flapping around, which I have yet to look for when I watch Game 6, because I never watch Game 6 because
No,
it was
you
one of
should
the
watch
3
it.
worst moments of my
Oh,
life.
it's so good. You should
Horrible.
watch it. Just watch the end.
That's still my number 1 worst sports moment.
Yeah. That's sad that it's my best and your worst.
What was your?
Is it your worst?
Yeah,
more
it's my
than
number 1
more
worst.
than the Giants.
It's my worst ever.
Really?
It's never ever been a worse moment. Because
Yeah.
when you're 16, you care the most.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think from like 16 to 25, that's when it's like life or death.
I cried 3 years in a row, and Danny White lost the NFC Championship. Was it 79, 80,
you cried.
81?
You cried during Blood
I mean,
Diamond for
the-
Romo that time. That's my favorite
Blood
South story.
Diamond is the worst sporting event I've ever seen.
Romo botched the fumble, and then you cried at Blood Diamond 5 hours later.
I hope Romo appreciates that even more than me naming
I think of it every time Blood Diamond's on cable for some reason. Like I always get an image of you and your wife being confused.
Very sad. You cried when Big Papi was hugging the pitcher. What do I care?
I literally did. I almost cried.
All right, New England. You're going to cry again when the Patriots go to Arizona this week.
I have Cards by 3.5, and I like the Pats.
You went low. You're going to love them at 6. I went 6.5. It's 6.
6.
I'm going to convince you to do a teaser with the
Chiefs
with the
Cards
Cardinals.
tease.
You love the Patriots, but
I think I urge everybody to not write off Garoppolo.
you're setting yourself up for
Garoppolo
great
throws
disappointment.
nice 11 and 12-yard throws. Likes those tight ends.
He could be good. I don't
So
know.
there's two scenarios
I mean,
here.
Arizona would have been favored if Brady played, right? They still would have been favored by
That's
2
an
or
interesting
3.
one.
Like,
I don't
how
know.
much is Brady worth to this game? Don't you think it
I
would have
think he's
been
worth. I think it would have been Arizona by 1 or a pick 'em.
so 5.5 or 6? Sounds
So
about right.
it goes one of two ways, right? And I have no idea what the outcome is. One would be Garoppolo, like the Cardinals just blow them out, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, can the Patriots? Will they win a game before Brady comes back?" And we go that whole way,
Right.
Or they win, and everyone's like, "Whoa, Garoppolo, holy!" And then it goes that way. But it feels like it has to be one of those two ways.
Yeah. I think it goes the first
It's
way.
either way. It's a hot take. Everybody's just going nuts.
This is one of the games that Belichick could pass Brady in everybody's eyes of, putting him on the pedestal there, right? Like,
I have.
don't you think Belichick tries extra hard in this game if a coach is actually able to try hard?
There's a Boston element. People connected to the team, fans, the media members, like people have always felt like that means a lot to Belichick.
Yeah.
Like in 08, he went 11-5 with Castle.
That drives me crazy.
It's
after
incredible.
watching-
Like you watch
watching him
Castle
there.
last year, he can
Right.
barely function. And Belichick should have made the play. I mean, how many teams go 11-5 and don't make the
I
playoffs?
think you could gather up all the evidence in the world. All you need to know that the Patriots cheat is that Belichick went 11-5 with Matt Castle.
Come on.
That's all you ever need to know.
Hey, wait, before we get to the Monday night games, you and I both got sucked into daily and weekly fantasy.
No, we did.
A little bit, yeah. DraftKings having a free Week 1 fantasy contest. I repeat, it's free. They're offering $100,000 in total prizes up for grabs. And remember, DraftKings.com, the destination for 1 week fantasy football. No season-long commitments like the stupid fantasy league we're in, where I'm going to be like 2-7 and I'm going to quit and stop. But I won't change my kicker, and then you'll get mad at me like I have some moral obligation
Yeah.
to keep changing my players.
all right.
Yeah. Not on DraftKings.com. You draft a fake team of real players, be their fake GM, follow that fake team live. You might win real money. Do a contest with friends or beginners. Do a 50-50 contest. Or be like me and do a single entry league. I like those.
Those are good.
I did really well in a single entry league.
What is that, the top
I have a big
50%
DraftKings
gets-
buffer.
Yeah.
No, I did. I forgot. It was like a top 20, but I won like $800. So now I have
Right.
all this money to lose on my stupid picks I made.
Nice.
So I made a team for Week 1. I won't tell you my QB or my D, but I have your man Elliott, Spencer Ware, Antonio Brown, Kamar Akins, Stephon Diggs, Gary Barnidge.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. That's what I mean by throwing money away, because I'm not really that good at daily fantasy, but
Wait a
I want
minute,
to
I
do
don't
better.
understand that. Who's your quarterback?
Well, I have a good
Joe
quarterback
Montana?
and a good defense.
Okay.
They don't have a lot of money for these.
Wow.
Go to DraftKings.com. Use the code Simmons to play for free in Week 1's $100,000 fantasy contest. Again, it's free. DraftKings.com, code Simmons. Eligibility restrictions may apply. See the website for details. Monday night.
I like it. 2 games Monday night.
And
7
you and I have both made this case. There should be 2 games every Monday night.
at least.
And there should be
2
a-
Tuesday, 2 Wednesday.
and there
2
should be a 9:30 a.m. game every week.
Yes.
We like that one too. I like the London
9:30
games.
Pacific, yeah. 9:30 Eastern. You're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the London games.
We're gonna get a couple of those.
I like those. I
love it.
like when weird wonky stuff happens. So what do
Pittsburgh
we got?
at Washington.
Pittsburgh at Washington.
You're gonna get this one.
You think I'm gonna nail this one?
Yeah, well, I have the answer right here. But I said Washington -2
I said the Skins were getting a 1.5 at home,
and they're getting 3.5 actually
and I'm gonna wager on them.
on Washington.
I like Washington in this.
What was their over
They
under?
can throw
I'm
the
trying
ball.
to think.
Their over-under was like 8.
So
Nobody knows what to do with the NFC East.
Redskins was 7.5.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh's was like 10 or something crazy,
Yeah.
right?
The case for Pittsburgh, which Robert Mays made to me today as we were
10.5.
arguing
Wow.
about it, they had kind of the year from hell last year, and they were still good.
Right.
And Roethlisberger was banged up, and they missed. How long did they have Le'Veon Bell was out for? Like almost half the year.
Right. Now it's 3 games.
Yeah, and they lost offensive line dudes, and the thinking is they're going to be in better shape this year, which means the team will be better. I don't love Pittsburgh. I don't know how. I know Roethlisberger was banged up in the playoff game, but they should have beaten Denver in that. They had the ball. They're over midfield. Like they're driving for the winning drive. Tucson fumbles.
Yeah.
And that wasn't one of the 5 luckiest things that happened at Denver.
Jeez.
Oh, my God. I will never get over that Denver Super Bowl.
Lots of money we lost on that one. But, yeah, I think, Washington plays the first place schedule now. And
I think we won money on that. We took
on the
the
Pittsburgh
points.
Denver?
We took the points.
I think we did a lot
We
of
had
things
money
in that
line,
game.
too, but I think we still did well on that.
I don't like that Pittsburgh picked up Zach Mettenberger. It seems passive-aggressive that they have a Roethlisberger and a Mettenberger. Like
They did that?
Yeah, they just want to drive everybody crazy. So that's enough reason
That's
to take
obnoxious.
the risk.
Yeah. All right.
And then the second game,
Yeah.
the Rams from L.A. I'm seeing at San Francisco.
Yeah.
10:20 start East Coast time.
Unbelievable. And it'll probably start at like 10:40.
10:20 football fans in New Bedford, Connecticut, Bill, after a long day at work, they have to stay up and see if Greg Zerline kicked their fantasy team to a win. That's crazy.
It's 10:40 at night. I'm wondering if Kaepernick's going to deal or not.
2 in the morning. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God. What a terrible game.
Yeah.
It just
This is
dawned on
bad.
me like a week ago that Case Keenum is the starting quarterback for the Rams.
Yeah, this is
Because
a bad.
I kept trying to be like, oh, the Rams will be fun. And then it's like, oh, they're going to be awful.
It's a really bad quarterback game.
There's
Yep.
some interesting Gurley stats, too, about how he broke off some big runs last year. But, 80% of his runs or something were 2.5 yards and under or something. Because they can't
right.
throw the ball. So if he doesn't break through that first thing, he just goes down. I think the Rams might not be good.
I don't like them either. We discussed your first year in LA. You're not productive.
Well,
None of the
and then
players.
there's that part too. But I mean, really not good.
Yeah.
Because initially I was thinking 8-8, 7-9.
Their over-under's
range, but they
high.
might be like 3-13.
They don't need that. Over under does not need to be that high. It's 7.5. I think they win like 5 or 6 games.
Which is there a way to bet on which Jenner/Kardashian crosses the Rams line first?
With Todd Gurley? Oh, I don't even know if
Any
he's,
of them. I mean, it could be Gurley, it could be
that's
Jared Goff,
That's good.
could be Tavon Austin. Who knows? I mean, some of these guys might be
It's not going
married.
to be
but-
Jared Goff.
yeah, the Kardashians know already.
cross him off the list.
He's 11.
I had Rams. I had Rams giving 1. And you had what? A pick?
No, I had can't even see anymore.
I think you had a pick.
I had to pick them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 2. Rams are giving 2.5.
What?
One of the home teams, one of the dogs covers this Monday night normally.
San Francisco lost some dudes. I would be more excited for them as a home dog, but if they lost their 2 best defensive players from last year.
Yeah.
One guy's out for the year, the other guy's out for a month.
If you're on the East Coast, I would never say skip a game, but Case Keenum, Blaine Gabbert, and Chris Berman doing play-by-play, you could skip this one.
Is Chris Berman doing play-by-play?
This is his Monday game.
Are you serious?
Berman, Steve Young, and Lindsey Sarniak.
Wow. Well, social media will be interesting
Yeah,
that night.
definitely.
I'm going the other way. I love when Berman does sporting
Do you?
events. Yeah. He's good at it.
You won't last past first quarter. You're going mute. You know you are.
It's not a bad idea for them to offer a second announcing team.
Yeah.
Would be my suggestion. Really, I pick a name. It would
Right.
probably be a safer option. Are they going to do that thing where they have these games on 5 different channels?
For these two?
Yeah, you know how they do that sometimes
Oh, it
with the
overlaps and
college
stuff.
bowls? Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. They better do something. It's not a good team.
Wow.
That's it.
Hold on, I'm going to turn the lights.
Yeah, it's very dark all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else we have.
That's it.
That's it.
We've gone over an hour, right?
Week
Hour
1.
and 10. We did
What
it.
time is it, Tate?
Hour 5.
Hour 5.
Let me
great.
plug a couple
Plug
things.
some
real-
things. You have some things to plug.
Jimmy Kimmel Live tonight. This is Thursday. Tom Hanks and Kaleo. Am I saying that right, kids? I don't know.
Wait, Tom Hanks is going to be on Jimmy Kimmel Live
Yeah,
on Thursday?
You've heard of him.
The Tom Hanks?
That's the guy.
Has he been on before? He has, right?
Sully Sullenberg? Sure, he's been on. Yeah, he's been on.
Explain
Done-
the Sully.
done an Oscar bit
explain
with
the
us.
Sully movie to me.
I think it was.
We know what happens, right? He lands the plane in the water.
Yeah, but he took a lot of shit for landing the plane in the water, and I think that's the bulk of it.
He could
right?
have made it back to the airport.
Yeah,
And he landed in the water.
Yeah, so he wasted a lot of money.
he's a hero in everyone's eyes. Everyone he saved, except for
But then he was exonerated.
yeah, sure,
All right.
he's fine.
I'm going to
Yeah.
skip that movie.
We had an idea where Sully plays Hanks in a movie called Hanks, and he's Forrest Gump, and he's everybody, you know. But
if I ever had Hanks on my show, I would just go all Castaway.
yeah,
Just go scene by scene until he got really freaked out.
right.
He lost like 50 pounds or
He
something.
did. He pulled the
All right, I'm
Jameis
sorry,
Winston.
I ruined your plug.
No, I don't care about
No,
that.
go.
But listen, I'm at the Cousin Sal on Twitter, but this is the important thing.
Hmm.
Cousin Sal Sure Thing. That's my Facebook page. You're going to see my week 1 picks on Friday, sponsored by Dollar Shave Club and Facebook. It's going to be huge.
Why did you save that for the end of the show? We should have mentioned that sooner.
I don't know. When do I say that?
So where can we find this?
I don't know. No, Facebook. On
Facebook.
Facebook.
On
Cousin Sal Sure
Facebook.com.
Thing. That's it.
So we search what? Cousin Sal's Sure Thing, and this will pop up.
We did a little cheating, and now Facebook has helped us out. And anyone who lists football, gambling, or fantasy football is automatically going to get my bit thrust into their feed.
So last
have
year
to
you were
watch
on ESPN.
Yeah.
You gave your picks.
Mm-hmm.
You did so well that some random dude at Business Insider wrote about it every week.
For Yahoo, yeah.
Or Yahoo. Somebody wrote about your picks every week,
got
which was the professional highlight of your life, basically.
Definitely. That and
having a gambling run that was being reported on as real news.
there was actually a website that or you could bet what my record was going to be every week. That was pretty good.
That was the highlight
That
of your
was-
life.
Yeah. Doesn't get better than
So
that.
now you've taken this act from
is it.
ESPN, the worldwide leader, to Facebook, the
Yes.
most powerful media institution in the world.
I missed Neil and Stan, but at 79% of my best bets over 2 years, I had to go and do it somewhere.
This is exciting.
Facebook has helped me out.
Good luck, buddy.
Thanks.
Well, thank you to DraftKings.com. It's the destination for 1 week fantasy football. Go to DraftKings.com. Use code Simmons to play in Week 1's free $100,000 fantasy football contest. You can do that this weekend. Again, DraftKings.com, code Simmons. Eligibility restrictions may apply. See website for details. Definitely go to Facebook.com.
yeah.
Put in Sal, football, gambling, shave,
Cousin
picks,
Sal, sure thing.
winners, sure thing.
I'm going to give fantasy. Oh, you can win $1,000 a week.
Oh.
I have prop bet challenges. There's so much
Oh,
going on.
Great news. I'm very excited for you. Thanks to HBO Now, HBO Go, and HBO On Demand. That's where you can watch complete episodes and bonus clips from my new talk show any given Wednesday. Thanks to TheRinger.com and the Ringer Podcast Network. Thanks to Cousin Sal. We will be back on Friday with one more BS podcast. This is great. We're back. Year 10.
We are back. Good job by you, Billy.
Good job, you.
Anytime y'all want to see me again, rewind this track right here, close your eyes, and picture me rolling.